The examination hall stretched for 300 meters of reinforced durasteel, its walls scarred by decades of violence, built to endure the most extreme demonstrations of predatory dominance the galaxy could produce. From the elevated observation deck, Commander Vexter of the Krellian Dominion surveyed the arena with all four eyes, silently judging the warriors preparing below. This was the Galactic Military Academy's most feared assessment, the Predator Tactics Examination. For 12 full cycles, the Academy had trained elite combatants from 73 species, all of them masters of pursuit, elimination, and survival. The examination itself was simple in theory and merciless in practice. Each candidate would face a live Scarax, a creature engineered for lethality, standing 4 meters tall with reflexes fast enough to snatch plasma fire from the air and mandibles capable of cutting through battle armor like cloth. The first candidate entered, an Auroran hunter built entirely of muscle and sharpened bone. Its species was legendary across multiple sectors for brutality. When the Scarax was released, the outcome was predictable. A savage 14-minute clash left the hunter victorious but broken, dragged from the arena for immediate medical intervention. Standard performance. 6 more candidates followed. 2 survived intact. 3 failed and were extracted under emergency protocols. 1 would never walk normally again. Then a new name appeared on the display. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, Terran Defense Coalition. Assigned through the Human Galactic Integration Program. Vexter had reviewed her file weeks earlier with detached skepticism. Humans were newcomers to the galactic stage. Their species had only recently achieved faster-than-light travel. Physically unimpressive. No claws. No venom. No natural armor. Evolution had not shaped them as predators. When Chen entered the arena alone, without exoskeletons or specialized weaponry, the murmurs intensified. She carried only standard-issue equipment, a plasma sidearm, a combat knife, and a small pack. No enhancements beyond basic armor. The Scarax emerged, unleashing a territorial shriek designed to incapacitate prey through acoustic trauma. Most candidates froze or faltered. Chen did neither. Instead, she did something no one expected. She sat down, cross-legged, 30 meters from the creature. She placed her weapons calmly on the ground and opened her pack. Confusion rippled through the observation deck as the Scarax circled her cautiously. The creature's sensors read no threat. No aggression. No fear. The human simply removed food rations and began to eat. What is the human doing? Instructor Krothos demanded, his voice sharp with disbelief. His species had hunted megafauna for 10,000 years, and he recognized suicide when he saw it. But Commander Vexter noticed something the others missed. The Scarax had stopped circling. Its aggressive posture softened into hesitation. Apex predators relied on instinct and pattern recognition, and the human had shattered every pattern the creature understood. When Chen finished eating, she wiped her hands on her uniform and stood slowly. The Scarax tensed, mandibles spreading in warning. Chen picked up her plasma sidearm, checked its charge, then looked up toward the observation deck. Her voice, amplified through the arena's system, was calm and controlled. She requested clarification on the examination parameters. Silence swept the deck. Never before had a candidate spoken during an active predator tactics assessment. Krothos reluctantly opened the channel and demanded an explanation. Chen stated the objective clearly: neutralize the threat. She simply needed confirmation whether the method of neutralization was restricted. Then she asked the question that would echo through Academy history. Alive, or in pieces? Arguments erupted among the instructors. Vexter's translator struggled to keep up with the overlapping languages and curses. Finally, Krothos responded that the examination measured survival and dominance. The method was irrelevant. Chen acknowledged this, set her weapon down again, and retrieved a small cylindrical device from her pack. Most observers didn't recognize it. Vexter did. A Terran emergency beacon, standard issue for humans operating in hostile environments. Chen activated the device and placed it on the ground. It emitted a pulsed subsonic frequency. The Scarax reacted instantly, its aggression collapsing into visible distress. Vexter realized what was happening. The signal mimicked a juvenile Scarax distress call. Chen had studied their biology. Though apex predators, Scarax were genetically hardwired to protect their young. Even captive-bred specimens retained this instinct. The creature no longer saw prey. It sensed vulnerability. Chen approached slowly, hands visible, movements non-threatening. She spoke softly in a rhythmic pattern, not a known language, but something primal. Sounds used by predators to calm their offspring. The Scarax lowered its head. Chen placed a hand on its armored carapace, then retrieved a prepared injector. The sedative entered smoothly. The creature did not resist. Within seconds, it collapsed into unconsciousness. Chen turned back to the observation deck. The threat was neutralized. No casualties. Revival possible within 4 hours. She asked if the outcome was satisfactory. No one spoke. For 10 long seconds, the most feared examination hall in the galaxy stood silent. Commander Vexter finally activated the communication system himself. He reminded Chen that the examination was designed to assess predatory instinct and combat capability. Her response was immediate and respectful. She explained that she had been told this was a predator tactics examination, and she had used predatory tactics. Humans, she said, did not rise to the top of their planet's food chain by being the strongest or fastest. They survived by being smarter, more adaptable, and more patient than anything that hunted them. Every Earth predator that relied solely on brute force was now extinct or endangered. The ones that learned to think, plan, and understand behavior were the ones that survived. She gestured to the unconscious Scarax. Killing it would have been easier. More traditional. But the objective was neutralization, not slaughter. The creature was now incapacitated, unharmed, reusable, and posed zero threat. That was efficiency. That was intelligence. That was how humans hunted. Vexter found himself performing a gesture his species reserved for acknowledging a superior adversary. Around him, other instructors followed, each according to their own traditions. The human had done more than pass an exam. She had exposed a flaw in their thinking. For generations, the Academy had equated dominance with destruction. But true predators did not always kill. They controlled. They understood. Lieutenant Sarah Chen was awarded the highest marks in the examination's history. Her approach was added to mandatory curriculum for all future classes. Predator tactics was rewritten overnight. From the observation deck, Vexter updated his assessment of humanity. They were small. Physically unimpressive. But they were predators nonetheless. Perhaps the most dangerous kind. The kind that thought before striking. The kind that studied prey until it understood itself better than the prey ever could. Humans did not ask how to fight. They asked how to win. And sometimes, they asked the most important question of all before the hunt even began. Alive or in pieces? The answer changed everything and the cycles that followed. Lieutenant Sarah Chen's examination became legend throughout the Academy and far beyond it. Cadets whispered about the human who defeated a Scarax without firing a single shot. Instructors debated her methods late into their rest periods. Entire tactical doctrines were quietly revised. The galaxy had long believed that the apex predator was defined by strength, speed, and fear. Humanity shattered that assumption with calm, preparation, and understanding. Chen's actions forced the Academy to confront an uncomfortable truth: intelligence was a weapon more powerful than any claw or plasma blade. Commander Vexter reviewed historical records from Earth with renewed interest. Human survival had never depended on physical superiority. Their planet was hostile, unpredictable, and unforgiving. Storms, predators, disease, and extreme environments had shaped them into something unique. Humans learned not only how to fight nature, but how to manipulate it. They studied behavior, exploited patterns, and adapted faster than anything that threatened them. Where others relied on instinct, humans relied on strategy. Where others charged forward, humans waited. The predator tactics examination was no longer viewed as a test of violence. It became a measure of adaptability, restraint, and problem-solving. Chen's question echoed in every new assessment. Instructors no longer asked whether a candidate could kill. They asked whether the candidate understood why killing was necessary, or whether it was merely convenient. The academy began to understand that the most dangerous predator was not the loudest or strongest, but the one capable of choosing not to strike. In his final report, Commander Vexter summarized humanity in a single statement. Humans were predators that did not need to bare their teeth to dominate. They planned. They questioned. They learned. They survived. And when they struck, it was only after every other path had been measured and mastered. This realization sent ripples through the galactic powers. Diplomatic strategies changed. Military doctrines adjusted. Humanity was no longer underestimated. Lieutenant Sarah Chen returned to duty without ceremony. She did not seek recognition. To her, the examination had simply been another mission. Another problem to solve. But across the stars, her actions redefined what it meant to be an apex predator. Not a creature of rage and violence, but one of patience and intellect. One that understood the battlefield before stepping onto it. Alive or in pieces had been the question. Thinking had been the answer.